For decades, one bill sought justice. Year after year, it was denied. A promise ignored, a debt unpaid. Generations fought, but the cycle of denial never ended. This time, they refused to be ignored. A legacy stolen, a future still unpaid. They call it impossible. They call it divisive. But justice is not up for debate. The fight is no longer a whisper, it is a demand. Critical Race Theory in Black and White. Available now at Amazon.
I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on GBN, we're diving into one of the most important conversations of our time. The name of the book we're talking about today is called Critical Race Theory in Black and White. It is written by a terrific author by the name of Elder Henry Lee Duke Jones. This bold and timely book makes a compelling case for reparations, exposing the deep economic impact of slavery and systemic racism in America. With passion and precision, the author not only lays out the moral and historical argument, but also presents a practical roadmap to achieving justice. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today. We thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put him on TV today, and we ask viewers like you to support authors like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his amazing book. The links are below this interview. Elder, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you so much, Logan, for having me. And before we get started, can I just make one quick point? I'd like to reiterate this. I came on your program because of the review that you gave to Critical Race Theory in Black and White. You saw through some of the editorial missteps, and you saw the true meat of the book. And Logan, it did inspire me a bit. And I wanted to come on and thank you eye to eye, as closely as I could get to that, for what you did.
Well, it's my pleasure. The book is deserving of every accolade it receives. It's an important book because there is no denying it. There is no doubt. There is disparity between the races in America and how Black people in America and white people in America are treated by the courts, by the government, by the rules, by the policies, by the congressional districts even. It's embedded in our society, don't you think?
Yes, and I would add to that, by the people. By the people. All these institutions aren't just robotic arms. There are thriving, bustling people in these places. And Logan, I just like to relay a little short story to you to get the gravitas of what we as Black men are dealing with. I grew up in a city called Natchitoches, Louisiana. I grew up about 40 miles from a city called Colfax, Louisiana. I graduated high school in 1970, and it was not until I reached the age of 60 that I learned that my relatives were killed murdered along with 200 others in Colfax, Louisiana. I had to learn that at the age of 60. Nothing in our people have to be prepared for something. It's just common decency to know about yourself, and it brings this fight home to me.
It isn't the distant past. It's our past here in the United States. It only goes back a generation or two. Up until the 1960s and beyond, there were laws on the book that openly discriminated against African Americans. So the injustice is real. And just because we're seeing some progress now, Barack Obama being elected president, Kamala Harris running for president, the system itself still isn't just, still isn't fair, is still corrupted, don't you think?
Logan, it's window dressing.
Yeah.
It's just window dressing. Our projects, our ghettos, a Black person might live in a suburb or some area like that, but you still can drive through and see the destruction that's going on right today, even more so in our communities, not to mention the jail systems. we've got to do something different. And that's what this book is making clear. Everything we've had reparations bill HR 40 languishing in Congress for over 40 years now. My friend, Representative John Conyers from Michigan, authored that bill. He's gone now. And the bill is baby steps mean nothing to us anymore. And HR 40 means nothing to us anymore. We are seeking a different path to bring about change for ourselves in this country. You know, we talk about civil rights movement. What was the civil rights movement? Only two times in the history of America has America made a total pivot. The first pivot America made was during the Civil War. And what was it because? It was because of us. The second great pivot America made was the civil rights movement. The world benefited from that. But what was it because? It was because of us. And what did we get out of it? The same thing we always get, Logan. The same thing we always get, nothing and less. So we're plotting a different path, and I'm so glad you have me on to speak about this, Doc.
Absolutely. Let's talk about that new path that you're plotting. What are the steps forward to make things equitable and to give African Americans equity in this country?
Glad you asked, Logan. Let me put this up for just a moment, okay?
Sure.
This is one of the products. Can you get a view of that?
Yep. Reparations Now 2028.
On the back,
And then the Black Power fist sign in the air.
can you read the bottom?
I can read it now. Field Order number 15, 1865.
All right. All right. We are planning grassroots to force the Democratic Party to place reparations not only in their 2028 platform, but more than that, within the first 100 days of their administration, we want reparations passed. This is the black voice speaking now. We've upheld and been the backbone of this party for nearly 100 years. We were always the most reliable vote. We were always the vote that sent the presidency over the top, but no more. The Democratic Party has an ultimatum now. Either they place reparations at the highest priority in their new administration, which they will have if we vote, or they lose this election, and maybe, just maybe, Logan, they lose this entire nation.
I agree. The black vote has been very, very empowering. It empowered President Trump on some levels during this election.
Yes, it
Um,
did.
let's talk about reparations. What kind of formula can you come up with that would have meaningful impact in people's lives? You live in a world now where homes cost $1 million in many places for a simple home.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, yeah, I understand that argument, Logan, not cutting you off, but that argument means nothing to me at this point in time. This could have been settled back in
yeah.
1865 when President Lincoln gave African Americans a strip of land from South Carolina into Florida,
Mhm.
200 miles long, 30 miles wide. That was given to 40,000 slaves, and a mule was given.
Yeah.
What happens? As soon as they murder Lincoln, Andrews comes in and gives all of that land back. We're owed this. It's not a matter of
Yeah.
economics. Or can we afford it anymore?
Right.
No, no
My
more,
question
no
was,
more.
what I was asking was, how much how much would make a difference in the lives of Black people who have been oppressed by an oppressive regime for, a century or more now?
My figure is this, Logan. For those descendants
Mhm.
of slaves in this nation, nowhere else, in this nation, I consider at least $180,000 per
Mhm.
descendant
Yeah.
to be a fair amount. And we're talking about pennies when you look at what Trump just gave to the rich a few weeks ago. And we're talking, no, it's got to happen, Logan. There's no two ways about this. I'm 72 years old, Logan, and I'm
Yeah.
not leaving this earth without seeing this happen.
Well, good.
No, can't.
Well, I think that's great to have that spirit, to have that resolve. I think $180,000 would have an impact on people's lives, and would be
But but but
empowering.
but what
Yeah.
but it's not just that, Logan. There are more points to this program. If you
Hmm.
read the book, it's not just monetary. There's
Yeah.
an entire system set up and it's not just for the African American. This money will be spent right here at home.
Yeah.
In fact, when the 40 acres and the mules were given out, it wasn't just to black folks. White Southerners who fought for the North received their shares also.
Yeah.
They're also owed.
Right.
Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
Absolutely. No, I agree. I agree. Educational institutions also have to change. Obviously, there's a huge disparity in our public education system in America, too. How do you envision that changing?
I envision us going back to an era where we were segregated, but this time we will be equal. I come from a segregated school system. I know what it is. I know what it means. I know how far and away it is above what we have now. I was against this system when it started. I was a senior in high school when integration came to my city, and every black person at my school, every student, every teacher cried. We all cried. That's just how much we had with our own system. You're free to go to any other system if you want, but those who want to stay in a black system, they should have that choice.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Choice in education, I think, is important. And I think equal opportunity in education is important. And I don't think that largely white suburban areas should have pristine schools where kids are learning golf and tennis, and inner city schools that are predominantly Black or people of color, barely having textbooks. I mean, and that's happening right now in
Right
2025. I'm not
now,
talking about
right now,
1962, right?
right
Yeah.
now, sir. One
Yeah.
other point I'd like to make about this reparations path uh, that we're on.
Yeah.
Uh, to accomplish what we're trying to accomplish, which is wake up the Democratic Party to the fact that we are running this show now, is the
Mhm.
fact is this: we don't need to have the entire nation of African Americans to threaten not to vote in 2028. All we need is a swing state or two.
Mhm.
It's not hard to get
Yeah.
this job done. I'm not asking for a revolution where we're fighting in the streets and all of this kind of crazy stuff. We
Yeah.
don't have to even leave our homes for this
Right.
quiet revolution. And Logan, I'm hell bent,
Yeah.
hell bent.
Well, it's in the
Yes,
spirit
sir.
of Martin Luther King, of
Amen.
peaceful
Amen.
protest, and you're voting
Amen.
at the ballot box. And certainly
Amen.
you could swing Pennsylvania. Certainly you could
Amen.
swing Michigan. There's a number
Hey,
of states
South
that could be swung.
Carolina.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
exactly. Georgia.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. And we've got all these HBCUs set up in these swing states because this is where these HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities,
Hmm.
this is where they came up. And so the student bodies is what I'm also in touch with now, preparing them for the mission they'll have and the things they'll need to get this mission done. I want to thank the Canadians also, brother. You have since the beginning of our struggle, you've been there. And
Yeah.
brother, I want to thank you all. God bless you all here.
Yeah. Wonderful. Elder, we have about 2 minutes left. Before we leave you, I want you to talk to the folks at home and let them know what you hope they take away from this book.
Thank you so much, Doc.
Sure.
As I said, folks, I'm 72 years old, and I refuse to leave this earth without seeing the change that has to come. I need your assistance, your help, because it's not only for us, this is for the entire world. Anything that advantages the black man in America has always advantaged the entire world. And it's been revolutionary. And no different with reparations. It will be a revolutionary act, a moral revolutionary act, economic revolutionary act, a social revolutionary act. This will have impact on the entire world. We must get this done. 2028 is the year to do this in. This is the issue that we must blanket MAGA with. We
Amen.
must blanket and stuff MAGA out with the issue of reparations.
Wonderful. Well said, well put, well written in this wonderful book. The name of the book we've been talking about today is Critical Race Theory in Black and White. It is a bold, informative, and necessary voice in the conversation on reparations and social justice in the United States of America. And as the elder said, 2028 could be or will be the year of the Black American voter having some say in the Democrat Party and getting some changes that are meaningful and lasting and have some impact. Elder, thank you so much for joining us here today.
God bless you so much, Doc. Have a good evening.
God bless you, sir. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on the Global Book Network.